Hello, fellow mood readers. Today I'm going to go over some books that I bought recently and some pre-orders that came in. All of these were since the last book haul I did, so it's been kind of a little bit, and I get to tell you about something awesome. So why don't we start with that? Yesterday, I just went to the grand opening of the indie bookstore that's now around me. It's called Friendly Alien Books, and you can find them on Instagram. But if you're ever in the Scranton area or anything, they just opened up right down by the Steamtown Mall. I couldn't be more excited to finally have an indie like right here. We usually have to travel a little bit out of the way, so we usually make those a little bit more of a trip than to just a bookstore. So the only thing really close that we had were a Books A Million and a Barnes & Noble, but now we have a nice cute little indie bookstore. Everybody was so great and nice. I cannot wait to go back, and I will give you a tour next time. I didn't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable by filming. I did ask, and she said yes, that I could film. So next time I'll give you a nice little tour of the bookstore. But I did buy some books from there as well. So let's get into some books. So I do have a few book box books. So I think I might leave those to the end so that if you don't want spoilers for current ones, because I did get a few in that are more recent and I am going to show you those, but there are a few like older ones that have been out for a little bit. I have a Broken Binding sci-fi, I have a Fairy Loot YA, which it's been a little bit since then, and then some Illuma crates for you. So I will put those at the end and just get started with all of the other books. So first off, I'm going to actually talk about something I just started yesterday. It's one of my most anticipated reads of the year. Another one I know already. I'm so happy. But I did get in my copy of The Night and the Moth. The Barnes & Noble exclusive edition is just absolutely beautiful. I got this lovely bookmark from the bookstore. The seller, I believe, is on Etsy, and it's Charming Church Mouse. This is the Hobbit bookmark that I got while I was there. It's got like this little dangly, and I thought the sword was a good fit, seeing as there's a sword right there. So Rachel Gillig is now an auto-buy author. I've been so excited for this ever since it was announced, and this copy is hefty. It is beautiful and like just stunning, and I did start this, so I'm only a few chapters in. I did post about it on Instagram just because I'm so excited to finally have this in my hands, because I love the Shepherd King duology, and I'm sure you probably know that if you've seen very many of my videos. But if you'd like a synopsis, I'll read a little bit for you. Sybil Delling has spent 9 years dreaming of having no dream at all. Like the other foundling girls who traded a decade of service for a home in the great cathedral, Sybil is a diviner. In her dreams, she receives visions from 6 unearthly figures known as the Omens. From them, she can predict terrible things before they occur, and lords and common folk alike travel across the Stonewater Kingdom's windswept moors and craggy mountains to learn their futures by her dreams. Just as she and her sister diviners near the end of their service, a mysterious knight arrives at the cathedral. Rude, heretical, and devilishly handsome, the knight Roderick has no respect for Sybil's visions. But when Sybil's fellow diviners begin to vanish one by one, she has no choice but to seek his help in finding them. For the world outside the cathedral's cloister is wrought with peril. Only the gods have the answers she is seeking, and as much as she'd rather avoid Roderick's dark eyes and sharp tongue, only a heretic can defeat a god. I am already super invested. I'm on chapter 3. So I just love Rachel Gillig's writing, and it's already awesome. If you enjoyed Shepherd King, I imagine you already picked this up, so I'm so happy. And next up, since I talked about the bookmark that I just bought from the bookstore, I'm going to go ahead and do the books that I just bought yesterday at the bookstore. I got 2, and one of them One of them I read and one of them I haven't, so I'm so excited. I'm so happy. So, first one, this one I have not read. It's Where the Library Hides by Isabel Ibanez. I read What the River Knows, and I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was a fun read. I do like a lot of those treasure hunting kind of things. When they're done right and they're fun, it's just a good time all around. So while not perfect, What the River Knows was fun, and figured I'd grab Where the Library Hides since I haven't picked it up yet. Maybe I'll get to it. It probably would be a great summer read. So this is a sequel. What the River Knows, Ina's traveled to Egypt to figure out what happened to her parents, and she meets with her uncle who is there, and also somebody who works with her uncle is Whitford Hayes, and it kind of all goes from there. So I don't want to give away too much. I can't read this synopsis, obviously, because it's a sequel. I'm looking forward to this one. I definitely want to see where the story goes. I think this is actually a duology. So this is a duology. I'm excited. So I think it'd be perfect for summer once the temperature starts to actually go up. We've got rain again today, but it's warm, so I guess that's okay. So the next book that I picked up at Friendly Alien Books is one that I already talked about, so I'm not even gonna say much, and you don't need to roll your eyes. You don't, but you can. I can't stop you. Or at least get a good laugh out of it, because of course it was a T. Kingfisher book. So as you all remember, this one launched my T. Kingfisher journey recently, and I wanted to actually own it physically. They had a copy there. It's just beautiful, so I needed to actually pick it up. But it'll be nice to have a physical and still have the copy on the Kobo, and then I could pick it up either way again, because I will probably definitely read this again. I am definitely forever grateful for picking this one up on Kobo and giving T. Kingfisher another chance. So, okay, and next up, I picked up a copy of We Live Here Now by Sarah Pinborough. So I've read a few things by Sarah Pinborough. I have read Behind Her Eyes. I think I gave that one a 3.5. I'm definitely probably going to read it again, just because that one is insane. So I want to know if you've read it and what you think of it. It might be higher next time, but I don't know. The characters, I did not like the characters, and I think that's intentional, and I don't know if I was in the mood for a book where I did not enjoy just, reading about characters that I really didn't like. But I absolutely, that twist. There is just something to be said about that, and I do enjoy Sarah Pinborough's writing. In Hark the Herald Angels Scream, which was a Christmas horror short story collection, I really enjoyed Sarah Pinborough's story. It was my favorite out of the entire book, and it made me actually pick up a bunch of other Sarah Pinborough books that I just haven't read yet. And I saw this one, and I needed to get it. It's nice and small, definitely perfect. I will probably read this soon, but we will find out if I continue to enjoy Sarah Pinborough's writing. So here we go. I'll give you the synopsis here. After an accident that nearly killed her, Emily and her husband Freddie moved from London to a beautiful Dartmoor country house called Larkin Lodge. The house is gorgeous, striking, and to Emily, something about it feels deeply wrong. Old boards creak at night, fires go out, and books fall from the shelves, and all of it stems from the terrible presence she feels in the third-floor bedroom. But these things happen only when Emily's alone, so are they really happening at all? She's still medically fragile. Her post-sepsis condition can cause hallucinatory side effects, which means she can't fully trust her own senses. Freddie doesn't notice anything odd and is happy with their chance at a fresh start. Emily, however, starts to believe that the house is being haunted by someone who was murdered in it, though she can find no evidence of a wrongful death. As bizarre events pile up and her marriage starts to crumble, Emily becomes obsessed with discovering the truth about Larkin Lodge. But if the house has secrets, so do Emily and her husband, and they live here now. I am excited for this one. I really do love Sarah Pinborough's writing, but I think this will be the next read that I go to of hers. So next up is by an author that I know I also enjoy. I read just the one book by her, but I really enjoyed it. I needed to pick this one up. I don't know why I didn't earlier, so that would be Fable at the End of the World by Ava Reid. I really loved Study and Drowning, and I can't wait for Theory and Dreaming, which comes out later. But this copy is quite beautiful. I actually really like this. It's lovely. The Lamb's Gauntlet is a live-streamed assassination spectacle, and the next lamb has been chosen. I kind of like that that's all you get for the synopsis. Super excited for this one. I do also have a few others. I do have Lady Macbeth, so I will probably get to this pretty soon. And then on the back it says, "This world can break anything." I will be checking it out. I adored Study and Drowning, and I do intend to reread it before Theory and Dreaming comes out. I am definitely excited for that one, and excited for this, and Lady Macbeth. I can't wait to check out more Ava Reid. So the next few that I did have, two of them are from thrifting. So we went out and about to a few of the Goodwills and Salvation Armies, and we went thrifting with Tim and April one of the times. So I ended up picking up a few books then, and one of them is Peach Blossom Spring by Melissa Fu. This one says, "It is 1938 in China, and Mei Lin, a young wife, has a bright future, but when the Japanese army approaches, Mei Lin and her 4-year-old son, Ren Shu, are forced to flee their home. Relying on little but their wits and a beautifully illustrated hand scroll filled with ancient fables that offer solace and wisdom, they must travel through a ravaged country, seeking refuge. Years later, Renshu has settled in America as Henry Dow. Though his daughter Lily is desperate to understand her heritage, he refuses to talk about his childhood. How can he keep his family safe in this new land when the weight of the past threatens to drag them down? Yet how can Lily learn who she is if she can never know her family story?" And it's in really great shape. So they had a few that were in really good shape there, and I thought I would pick this one up. And then I also picked up Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmus. April listened to this one on audio from the library, and she really enjoyed it. And I think these were like only $2 a piece, and they're in really good shape. And I've heard nothing but great things about this, so I can't wait to read it. Chemist Elizabeth Zott is not your average woman. In fact, Elizabeth Zott would be the first to point out that there is no such thing as an average woman. But it's the early 1960s, and her all-male team at Hastings Research Institute takes a very unscientific view of equality. Except for one, Calvin Evans, the lonely, brilliant Nobel Prize-nominated grudge holder who falls in love with, of all things, her mind. True chemistry results. Like science, though, life is unpredictable, which is why a few years later, Elizabeth Zott finds herself not only a single mother, but also the reluctant star of America's most beloved cooking show, Supper at 6. Elizabeth's unusual approach to cooking proves revolutionary, but as her following grows, not everyone is happy because, as it turns out, Elizabeth Zott isn't just teaching women to cook, she's daring them to change the status quo. I am excited to check this one out. I've heard a lot of good things. I saw that they released a couple editions of this, which all looked really nice, but I did decide to pick this one up, and I'm definitely going to give this a shot. Okay, so the next book that I'm going to talk about is going to be a sequel, and that is The Tropic of Serpents by Marie Brennan. So this one is one of the Lady Trent books, and I figured I'd pick up the second book before I read the first one, just in case I really enjoyed it and wanted to go right in. It's been quite nice actually seeing these books out and about, because for a while I didn't see them, but I did see but I did see that Barnes & Noble did have them the last few times, so while I saw the second one there, I decided to pick it up. Sorry for the noise, by the way. The neighbors are doing some work out there, so I do apologize. Next up is another book that I'm very excited about. It is from another auto-buy author. I have read several of this author's work, and that's going to be A Forgery of Fate by Elizabeth Lim. Elizabeth Lim has been my favorite for quite a while. The actual first book I read, I think, was Reflection, which is the Mulan retelling, which I think was a twisted tale. And then I got like everything else after that she wrote, and Six Crimson Cranes was great. Spin the Dawn and Unravel the Dusk were also incredible. I remember when Unravel the Dusk came out and I wanted to reread Spin the Dawn. I like binged it in a day. So I am super excited to get to this one. This edition is beautiful. I couldn't be more excited because I love Elizabeth Lim's work. It takes a skilled liar to paint the monstrous truth. Truyan Saigas didn't choose to become a con artist, but after her father is lost at sea, it's up to her to support her mother and two younger sisters. A gifted art forger, True has the unique ability to paint the future, but even such magic is not enough to put her family back together again or stave off the gangsters demanding payment in blood for her mother's gambling debts. Left with few options, True agrees to a marriage contract with a mysterious dragon lord. He offers a fresh start for her mother and sisters and elusive answers about her father's disappearance, but in exchange she must join him in his desolate undersea palace and paint a future so treasonous it could upend both the mortal and immortal realms. This is just absolutely beautiful. The gold edges here, and then there's foiling on the front. It looks just absolutely amazing. And I've been falling in love with all of the art that Elizabeth Lim has been showing. It's just absolutely stunning, and I can't wait. So next up is absolutely a cover buy. I didn't know about this one until I saw it on the artist's page, and that artist is Tom Roberts, and I've talked about it so much, but I love his artwork, and that's what I did with this one. So His Face is the Sun by Michelle Corpora, but look at this. This edition is just absolutely beautiful. We got a lovely map on the inside. I will give you a brief synopsis. So this is going to be book 1. I don't know if it's going to be a trilogy or a duology, but it is a book 1. Tensions run as hot as the Khamsin winds in the great kingdom of Katara. Rumors of the pharaoh's mysterious illness abound, and with them murmurs of rebellion grow. Meanwhile, in the quiet desert, a forgotten oracle begins to unfold, setting a dark prophecy into action and drawing together 4 strangers. I am definitely intrigued with this. I feel like the kind of scarab beetle design would be perfect for, maybe I'll do like a vlog with this and where the library hides. I think that might be a good idea. So look out for that. That might be fun. I could definitely see myself doing kind of an Egyptian type theme. So my next one, I might have talked about the other ones in another haul before the last one, or maybe I did talk about it in the last one, I don't remember. I didn't see it in there, but I have the first 2 Robin Hobb books. So I bought book number 3 in the Farseer trilogy, In the Realm of the Elderlings. These will be read because Rachel's book club will be doing these after our next book. After we finish Wrath is going to be Sword of Kaigen, but then after that we are going back to series, and this is going to be that series, and I'm very excited because this was actually one of the series that I was kind of intimidated by. Everybody loves it so much. They actually, every time I went, when I was looking at the bookstore, they never actually had the nice trade paperbacks. They did have mass markets. I was like, oh, maybe I'll hold off and then I would order these later. And then they started to get them again. So I was super excited, picked up the first one, and then proceeded to next time pick up the second one, and now I finally have the third one. So I will be getting to these, and I cannot wait to read these. But I'm also very nervous because I think that this series breaks hearts. I imagine it does. Yes, I did buy the third book. I'm so ready, but I'm also not. I'm still nervous about Wrath because the end of Ruin just, oof. So we'll find out how that goes. So the next one, I might have mentioned also at some point in a video. I feel like I remember actually mentioning it, but I never actually put it in a haul. But this one is Cold Eternity by S.A. Barnes. So I read Dead Silence and I loved it. I do have Ghost Station and didn't read it yet. So I do love my sci-fi horror. And S.A. Barnes did a great job with Dead Silence. I'm very excited for Ghost Station and this one. I was waiting for that come around where I was feeling sci-fi again. And after the first two books of The Expanse, I kind of feel like I'm ready for more sci-fi also. Hallie is on the run from an interplanetary political scandal that has put a huge target on her back. She heads for what seems like the perfect place to lay low, a gigantic space barge storing the cryogenically frozen bodies of Earth's most fortunate citizens from more than a century ago. The crypto program created by trillionaire tech genius Zale Winfeld is long defunct, and the AI hologram hosts, ghoulishly created in the likeness of Winfeld's 3 adult children, are glitchy. The ship feels like a crypt, and the isolation gets to Hallie almost immediately. She starts to see figures crawling in the hallways, and there's a constant scraping, slithering, and rattling echoing in the vents. It's not long before Hallie realizes she may have gotten herself trapped in an even more dangerous situation than the one she was running from. So, it's all of the above. So I'm excited to get to this. I love my space horror. Maybe that'll be a vlog too. Let's go for all that space horror. I'm so excited. Let me know if you've read any S.A. Barnes. Like I said, I enjoyed Dead Silence. Do still have to read Ghost Station. There's so many good space horror books out there. When they're right, they're just perfect. It's one of my favorite kind of reads. But I do love even just regular sci-fi. There's just something about space that I love. Aside from fantasy, it's one of my favorite genres. So this next one, I'm not 100% sure I am going to love, but I wanted to give it a try because it does sound intriguing. I read 2 books by this author, and I liked one and I did not like the other. So maybe this will be the kind of determination on whether I try any more from her or not. But that is going to be The Amalfi Curse by Sarah Penner. I enjoyed The Lost Apothecary. I did not like The London Seance Society. It just wasn't, I don't know. I don't even know what it was about it that I didn't like. There was just a lot that I didn't like. But this is actually quite a beautiful book, and it sounds really interesting. This is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. Our synopsis is: powerful witchcraft, a hunt for sunken treasure, forbidden love on the high seas. Beware the Amalfi Curse. Haven Ambrose, a trailblazing nautical archaeologist, has come to the sun-soaked village of Positano to investigate the mysterious shipwrecks along the Amalfi coast. But Haven is hoping to find more than old artifacts beneath the azure waters. She is secretly on a quest to locate a trove of priceless gemstones her late father spotted on his final dive. Upon Haven's arrival, strange maelstroms and misfortunes start plaguing the town. Is it nature or something more sinister at work? As Haven searches for her father's sunken treasure, she begins to unearth a centuries-old tale of ancient sorcery and one woman's quest to save her lover and her village by using the legendary art of Strigaria, a magical ability to harness the ocean. Could this magic be behind Positano's latest calamities? Haven must unravel the Amalfi Curse before the region is destroyed forever. I figured this would give me a good kind of like third book to kind of see where Sarah Penner lands for me. So let me know if you've read this and what you thought of it. I'd like to know. And how did you feel about Sarah Penner's other works? Because I'm, like I said, half and half. So we are now at the section of the book box books. So I am going to start out with my Illumicrate. I do have 2 Illumicrate books, so I'll do the older one first and the newest one second. So if you're worried about being spoiled on anything, then just letting you know. So the first one is the Raven Scholar by Antonia Hodgson. This is the Illumicrate version. It is absolutely stunning. Win the throne, destroy an empire. Either way, it begins with murder. So I'm pretty sure I probably don't even need to read the synopsis to you, because this book has kind of been all over the place and I've seen a lot of people talking about it. I was actually going to pick this up even normally if Illumicrate didn't do their own. So, but to get it in the book box was really nice. So this is, as I said, absolutely stunning. Let's give you a peek under the covers here. Look at this. It is absolutely beautiful. And the end paper art. Just gorgeous. Just absolutely gorgeous. So I am absolutely excited to read this one. Let me know what you think of it if you've read it. Next up is the other Illumicrate book. This is the more recent one that we've just gotten, and it's absolutely stunning. And I was actually, like, once again, super excited for this one. So, and that is going to be A Song of Legends Lost by M.H. Ayinde. I'm so sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Misito, spirit of my fathers, hear me. Misito, spirit of my mothers, hear me. Misito, lord of the eagle, master of the bone tree, hear me now and come. I would have also picked this one up if it was not the Illumicrate book. For some reason, it's always an Orbit book. I love Orbit. I don't know, they usually, if I see Orbit, I'm like, I think I'm probably going to love that. I don't know why, but I like it. So here is the naked hardback. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Those sprayed edges are beautiful too. There's some end paper art. And the front. So this one is a little bit different. I like when they have 2 different ones. I know sometimes they do the same end papers for both sides, but a lot lately I've been seeing 2 different ones, which is kind of nice. So, A Song of Rebellion, A Song of War, A Song of Legends Lost. In the Kingdom of the Nine Lands, only warriors of noble blood can summon their ancestors to fight with them in battle. But when Temi, a commoner from the slums, accidentally invokes a powerful spirit, she finds it could hold the key to ending the centuries-long war. But as secrets long buried come to light, Temi will learn that not everything can be invoked is an ancestor, and some of the spirits that can be drawn from the ancestral realm are more dangerous than anyone can imagine. So this sounds amazing, and it's stunning, and I can't wait to read it. I know mostly what I've been talking about, other than the occasional sci-fi lately, though, is fantasy, but that's just where my mood has been. It's like fantasy, pick up all the fantasy. So you gotta roll with it, you know, when you're feeling that mood. I don't want to force myself to read something else and potentially put myself into another slump. But right now, some of these ones are sounding like right up my alley, and I can't wait to read some of these. And I hope to love them. So for Illumicrate, as a general update, I did skip June and July. I don't really have an interest in those. And if I did feel like picking up the June book, this month's book, I'm okay with whatever standard cover, but I'm not sure if I really wanted it. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to skip that because I'm not sure I want it, and I don't want to get another book box book that I don't want to read. I skipped June and July. But up next, I have the regular version and the Fairy Loot version. I had this one pre-ordered already when I got the notification that I was off the Fairy Loot YA. So maybe I might unhaul the normal standard edition. I ordered it and I was excited to get it. But that is going to be The Floating World by Axie O. I do have The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea, but I didn't read that one yet. This one sounds incredible. I think I will probably read that one first and then possibly go to this one. So this is the standard edition of The Floating World, and this is the Fairy Loot edition. And the artwork is absolutely stunning. I love that foil. It's actually quite nice, and it is textured, so it's really nice. And this is beautiful as well. It says, "Lower your gaze. The light is not for you." And just look at these beautiful sprayed edges. They're gorgeous. The art on the inside is absolutely beautiful. And we do have reverse dust jacket art, which I will show you momentarily. But just the naked hardback is absolutely beautiful. I love those purples. They kind of match the background right now. And just the color palette is very gorgeous. And here's the end paper art. I do like the foiling on the inside too. I think it's actually really pretty. And there we go. And here is the reverse dust jacket. So this is actually just quite beautiful. So yes, this book is absolutely stunning. I will give you the synopsis. Ex-soldier Sunho lives in the underworld, a land of perpetual darkness. Possessing just his name and sword, he comes across a score of a lifetime, a chest of coins for hunting down the girl who wields silver light. Ren is a spirited acrobat traveling with her family, but everything changes when they are attacked by a demon. Desperate, Ren releases a blast of silver light and kills the monster, but cannot save her beloved uncle from grievous injury. Determined to save him from succumbing to the poisoned wound, Ren sets off for the mountains where the creature came from, which happens to be where Ren herself fled from 10 years ago. Her path collides with Sunho's, but he doesn't realize who she is. As the two grow closer, it becomes clear their pasts and destinies are more entwined than they could possibly have imagined. I was super excited to get this lovely edition. I did also really like this edition as well. I will probably unhaul that one and keep the Fairy Loot, but we shall see. I don't know. I'm going to read it and find out how it is. Let me know if you've read this or The Girl That Fell Beneath the Sea. I've heard great things about that one and have been meaning to read it. Obviously have not. It sat on my cart here for a little while too, but we all see what happens with cart books sometimes. So excuses, I know, I'm sorry. But I will definitely check these out, because they're absolutely beautiful and they sound amazing. This next one will be quick because I do believe I talked about this book before. I got the Owl Crate horror book box. I usually do the book only boxes, and for this one it just happened to be Buffalo Hunter Hunter by Stephen Graham Jones. And look at that. So we've got the spine there. I love Stephen Graham Jones. The first book that I read by Stephen Graham Jones was The Only Good Indians, and it was amazing. And from there, I picked up several other works. So I love a lot of the novellas and such that he did, and they're so good. I cannot wait for this one. I got the Barnes & Noble edition because there was extra content in the back of that one, and I needed it. But I was very happy to see that this one was Buffalo Hunter Hunter. And you have this. Look at that. It's just gorgeous. And each one, it's got the ribbon bookmark, and I love the bloody footprints on the bottom. Like, this edition is beautiful. And there is artwork on the back of, so this is on the back of the dust jacket. And then you have end paper artwork here. This was the teaser artwork, I think, was this part when they sent the email for the box. I'm kind of mad at myself that I haven't read this book yet, but I am definitely excited to get to it. So I'll read you a little bit of the synopsis just in case I didn't talk about it. This chilling historical novel is set in the nascent days of the state of Montana, following a Blackfeet Indian named Goodstab as he haunts the fields of the Blackfeet Nation looking for justice. It begins when a diary written in 1912 by a Lutheran pastor is discovered within a wall in 2012. What is unveiled is a slow massacre, a nearly forgotten chain of events that goes back to 217 Blackfeet dead in the snow, told in the transcribed interviews with Goodstab, who shares the narrative of his peculiar and unnaturally long life over a series of confessional visits. This is an American Indian revenge story captured in the vivid voices of the time by one of the new masters of literary horror, Stephen Graham Jones. So Stephen Graham Jones is essentially, at this point, auto-author. I do have I Was a Teenage Slasher. I have not read that one yet, but I have been picking up a majority of everything that he's put out. But I definitely do recommend Stephen Graham Jones. If you haven't read any of his books and you love horror, definitely go for that. But check trigger warnings, because there are some things that happen in The Only Good Indians. But I did also highly enjoy, like I said, the novellas. But I did love Mapping the Interior, and Night of the Mannequins was a lot of fun. So check those out and check trigger warnings before you go into The Only Good Indians. And I have Mongrels also as one of the backlist books that he put out. That's been on my cart for a long time. I don't know why I didn't specify that one in my old TBRs, but that one is also, it should have been on there too, because it's been sitting here for a while, and I will definitely be getting to some of that right around spooky season. I'll probably read some more horror. So the next book is going to be the last book that I'm going to talk about today. It is a doozy. So the Broken Binding has a sci-fi box as well. Warren signed up for the sci-fi box when I signed up for the fantasy, or a little bit after, but he got an email and he got off the wait list. So we got our first book in, and that is Doomsday Book by Connie Willis. So I don't think I ever heard of this one, but this copy is absolutely beautiful, and I will definitely be reading this. Let's give you a look. I am really excited for the next book in that they are coming out with. And I believe, though, they also mentioned sending new copies of these. I don't think they were very happy with this. Kind of bleed through there. But I actually kind of really love these covers and how they are. So let me give you the synopsis for this one. For Kivrin Engel, preparing an on-site study of one of the deadliest eras in humanity's history was as simple as receiving inoculations against the diseases of the 14th century and inventing a bulletproof backstory. For her instructors in the 21st century, it meant painstaking calculations and careful monitoring of the rendezvous location where Kivrin would be received. But a crisis strangely linking past and future strands Kivrin in a bygone age as her fellows tried desperately to rescue her. In a time of superstition and fear, Kivrin finds she has become an unlikely angel of hope during one of history's darkest hours. And this book says winner of both the 1993 Hugo and Nebula Best Novel Awards. I am definitely interested to see what this one is like. I didn't hear about this before Broken Binding announced it as their book pick, so definitely excited to give this one a try. Let me know if you've read it before. So that's all for today. That's all of the books that I talked about right there and down here. I hope you enjoyed this haul. Let me know what you bought over the last month or so. I don't remember when my other one went up. It's been a little bit though. I am excited to get to some more library organization. I think I may do the bedroom bookcase next and work on putting some of the books that I currently want to read where my mood is going, the kind of books, you know, kind of make it an ever-changing bookcase of my TBR picks. So look out for that one soon. And I am finishing up my revisited vlog. Episode 1 will go up very soon. I just have to finish the editing for that one. Episode 1 is an Anne McCaffrey vlog. I'm sure if you follow me on Instagram, you saw my pictures. I had fun putting that one together, so I really hope that you enjoy it. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if any of these are on your TBR or if you picked up any of these. So that is all for today. Leave a stack of books down there for me, because I will soon be buried by my TBR. If it ever fell on me, that'd be one way to go that I'd be happy with. Crushed by my own TBR. Death by books. Thank you all so much for watching if you made it this far. I hope that you are having a great reading month so far and that you picked up some of your most anticipated reads. So until the next one, bye.